Hello and welcome everybody.
Oh, hello, sorry.
You're right, Matt. Just wiping something off your face somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, just cleaning the spores and the black mold out to my teeth.
Yeah. Nice of you to join us. Let's see the comments.
Even better of you
Flick
to
through.
have me. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Nice to see people coming in. On time, of course. Well, not of course, but yeah, for once, should I say. Yeah, welcome in. What I'll try and do is get everyone's name up, like everything. Right, David. I checked his video out the other day. He done one of a pub, basically. An explore, pretty cool. Maxie, right, I better flick through some of these now to catch up. So you've been up today, Matt, out and out?
Yeah, I've been out today, scouting out locations. I went to go to a care home, and I was thinking, there's going to be people in there. It's going to be whatever. And it's like completely abandoned, no security. Went straight in, filmed, great. And then on the way back, I'm like, found a place, found another place, and another place, and another place, and another place. So I found about 6 places. So I'm gonna, I've got a fair bit to go back and try and do now. There's things to go film.
Different locations, you mean? Not the different places in the same place?
Yeah, we were losing light. So basically what I wanted to do is drone fly them all, and then I'll come home and I'll study the sort of footage and see what the score is. But yeah, I found about 4 or 5 places just driving back.
Excellent. So, it's good to hear that when, you know what I mean? You think one place and you find loads like that.
And I had to explore by myself today because there's nobody to go out exploring with.
I had one of them over the weekend, yeah. So I went out to see what I could explore, and a location popped up many years ago. I remembered it from many years ago, but I forgot about it until someone threw a video up. So I thought, oh, I know where that is. So I went down and did it. Yeah. So that's coming out. I wanted to get it out Sunday, but when I was editing it, I seen something. You know me. My channel's not paranormal or anything, yeah?
Yeah.
So, filmed everything like you do when you're out. You don't notice things. And when you're editing, you notice certain things. And like, did that just happen? And you go back and check the video and you can see something. So I'll show you that in a few, in a little while, a few moments or whatever. Who else have we got in? I think a few more people came in. Yeah, mate. Nice of you to join us. Cool. Yeah. So I'll be showing you that tonight. Only a little clip because obviously the video's ready now, and that'll be going out probably tomorrow now. Might as well, and go from there. See what happens. Hopefully get another one out for Sunday. I think the one for Sunday might not be a big one, but an interesting one, if you know what I mean. Quite I wouldn't say I got caught. I'd have said I've sort of like told the workers to come and meet me while I was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them ones. So yeah, it's only a short little video, but that'll probably go out Sunday if we can get that ready.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But that was on my own as well, that one. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've just had a weird one at the supermarket, getting me tins ready for tonight. Cheers, Matt.
Oh, cheers.
And everyone in the chat, all 74 of yous.
You didn't have the CCP there, did you, telling you can't film?
No, didn't have them there, no. I had one of them, is it a Karen, everyone calls people when they moan? Yeah, she must have been a Karen. Because I parked in my parking space, drove in my parking space, and this car was right up against my door. So the woman got out. I said, excuse me, love. I won't do my window. I said, excuse me, love. Can you move your car over a little bit so I can get out? She mumbled something. So I went, what? So she walked off, didn't hear. So drove off, yeah. So pulled up next to her before she actually walked in. So I had to get there quite fast. So stops there. I said, what did you say, love? She said, oh, I told you to find somewhere else to park. I went, okay, will do, love. Yeah? So I reversed back and parked right in front of a car. There was a car behind her. She went in a rush to find somewhere else to park. So I said, I will do, love. So I reversed back and park right in front of her. And like you say, there's a car behind her and she couldn't get out, basically. So I've done what she asked me to do. Told me to do. So I went in, looking up and just buying the beers. And I get there, grab the beers and walk into the counter. She was just going through the tills and got there. So I said, oh, it's all right, love. I found somewhere else to park. She went, yeah, I was just in a rush. I said, everyone's in a rush these days. So am I, but never mind. I found somewhere else to park. So get up to this self-checkout thing, and I had cash on me, no coins, wanting to get rid of me out of my pocket. And when you throw them in, it's rejecting coins and stuff like that, so it's taking time. And the guy was like, what was all that over? I said, oh, I parked up, and I couldn't open my door because she parked funny. So she told me to park somewhere else. So I have done. If you look out the window, you'll see where the parked. So he looks out, starts laughing. So I was like, yeah. So I'm trying these coins again, and nothing's happening. So he's helped someone else by this time. So I'm like, waiting there. So, yeah, not having these coins. They went, yeah, no worries. Leave them on the cat side. I'll sort it out. You just go and sort whatever out. Went, yeah, getting ear bashing. He starts laughing like that. He says, oh, she took a picture of your number plate. I went, thanks for letting us know. So I went out there, going to my car. She went, oh, I'm in a rush. I left my 2 children home alone. I went, what? I went, oh. I said, don't worry, love, I'm here now. I'm getting in my car. I found somewhere else to park like you told me to. Yeah? So I get in my car. Just about to get the seatbelt on. Then I've realised she took a picture of my number plate. So what's the problem with that? If she goes to get someone to come round, smash my car up, or something, or beat me up next time, see me?
Nah,
I don't know.
She's probably thinking I could report this to the police. That's what she's thinking. Yeah.
So I got out of the car. I thought I better take my phone and take a picture of registration just in case. She went, what are you doing? I said, just taking a picture of your reg like you did with mine. So if any alterations, we know where we can come to each other. So I get in my car, put my seatbelt on, drive off. As I'm driving out, you got the left-hand side on the left-hand side to exit. The right-hand side to come in with balance in the middle to stop each other from crashing. And as I was driving off, she's obviously floored it out the parking space. I didn't notice this at the time. I was coming down. I was doing it right out, and she came out the wrong way, straight across the road, nearly rams me in the pavement. She nearly goes up the pavement herself and shoots off. So I speeded up a bit, made sure I got the reg and the registration, then it eased off, backed off. I thought, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? 1, she's leaving the kids like that, and 2, driving how she is. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, all that just to get a few beers to relax tonight. But glad I can relax because I've got everyone in and leaving comments. I'll have to go through them now. Sorry about that, Matt. Well, what you want to say about that? What have you got to say about that?
Well, I think she's probably if she's flustered, she knows she's in the wrong, but she's like flustered then, and that's when people will have an accident, which is what she's doing. She's like, right, I fucking, but she's not in control of the car. She's not good at. She thinks like, right, I've got anger, but she hasn't got skills. So yeah,
Yeah. I'm just going through everyone's comments now, or who's joined and left a comment. Just try and get them all up.
Yeah.
Because we noticed quite a few who've joined. And welcome everyone. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and like button. Especially if you like the show and what you've heard and what's to come. God knows what's to come because we talk about anything on the show. Frank's in as well. Excellent. Nice to see you, Frank.
I said the best one I had.
It's Frank's birthday, wasn't it? The other day.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Yeah. Excellent. Remember that. Seeing his live stream and he was saying who's so and so. Yeah. And a few other live streams before, I mentioned something in his live chat. And he said, "Oh yeah, I remember that." I said, "Frank, I didn't know you were that old. It was going back to 18 something." Yeah, it was pretty funny. Comment.
Yeah, one of the worst ones I ever had. I was waiting for a parking space, like all right, and I was waiting. This guy pulled out, and I'm obviously waiting there, indicating I'm coming into your parking space now. It was in a supermarket, so there's loads of spaces, but I was waiting for that one. So he reverses out and he goes, and all of a sudden, a fucking car comes round the side of me and just goes straight in, fucking high speed, just like rumph, like that, straight in, slams on the fucking brakes. I'm like, what the fuck? So I wound the window down and I said, she was getting out of the car and I said, what's going on there? Like, what are you doing? I think I might have gone up to a car. And anyway, she put her window up then. And I said, I said, because I could see she wasn't going to open the window. And I just said, look, I don't know, what's the problem? And she goes, I'm pregnant. And I said, yeah, but that's not a very nice thing to do, is it? Like, I mean, you're pregnant, but you're driving around like a bit crazy and you're trying to get in somebody else's space. You can't wait a couple of seconds, but so she put her window down then. And I said, look, all I'm saying is it's not a very nice thing to do, is it? And so she thought, right, this guy's a softie, right? So she wound the window down then to fucking have a go at me. And I just went douche and just chucked a fucking big fucking thing of Coke all over her. Fucking douche, like, all right. Anyway, sprinted back to my car. Oh, yeah, she was out of her fucking car like this, running with a big fucking fat belly like that. Fucking. She probably fucking gave herself a miscarriage, stupid. See you next Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that time I went to the hospital. Yeah, it was the 90s. But no, I'd say I got my license 90s, so I can't say before that, but during the 90s till 2000, 2005 was the best days, I'd say, for me driving. Yeah, at that time at the hospital, I had an appointment. I was walking back from where I parked my car, going to the appointment, and this woman parks on a zebra crossing, reverses back, hits another car, moves forward a bit, and just stops halfway on the zebra crossing and just sits there on the phone then. So I was like, stood there for about 30 seconds, thought, nah, she's not getting out here. So I went over, just looking at the car like that. She gets out of the car. What's up? I said, I'm just checking the car. That's not damaged because no one else has. I said, by the way, you parked on a zebra crossing there. You can't really park there. Oh, I'm ill. I've got a bad foot. And it's fair enough. It was bandaged up. Yeah. But she shouldn't be driving in a bandaged up foot.
Yeah, it was good enough to get that far, wasn't it, in the car with a damaged foot. Yeah, exactly.
But what about everyone else in the hospital? Haven't they got something else wrong with them as well? Yeah.
And like, I really feel sorry for your foot, love, but your brain is what's fucking driving the car, not your feet. Yeah.
Oh, we've got Daniel in as well. Excellent, Daniel. Nice to see you, mate. Yeah. I'd say the driving has got a lot worse since, like I say, about 2005-ish. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. I just have it all the time. It's like, you're coming towards like a single lane, like there's traffic on one side, so you have to go down like single lane, and you're halfway along it, and some fucking dickhead just comes along. It's like, And it's like, so what are we going to do now then? You've just entered from the side where you're meant to be waiting, and now you jammed it all up. So I'm like, it's like, well, you got the short distance reverse, fucking reverse. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking dildos. And then people today like trying to squeeze it through tight gaps and stuff. And today I had another one. Roundabout, they were doing works on it. So they had lights and lights. But there were 2 extra left and right coming off the roundabout. So forwards and backwards had lights. Left and right, didn't have lights. So people were able to go onto that roundabout and come off in both directions, no lights, right? And I went down the street halfway, turned around and came back up. Now, there were no signs saying this road is closed, right? So there's no signs, and I was perfectly able to drive round and go down there, not a problem. Anyway, as I come up, this fucking fat bloke comes running up. He's like, yes. Like that. And I went, yeah, mate. And he went, that road's closed. I said, it's not closed. And he said, yeah, it is closed. I said, well, there's no sign there saying it's closed. He goes, no, but it's one way only. I said, well, I drove down it halfway and then turned around and came back up. And there's no signs halfway to tell me it's now one way. So how am I supposed to know? He said, do you know what he said? And it's like, check this out now. He said, but you're not insured to drive on that road. So you can't do it. And I said, well, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Because I've come back onto the roundabout, And he said, well, you can't. And I said, well, I'm here now. So he's like, what the fuck do you want? Like, do you want me to reverse the car backwards? Or maybe I'll take the keys out and just stay here then, because I'm not insured apparently to drive the fucking car now. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Mate, I'm here now. Whether it was right or wrong, if you go down, there's no signs when you're halfway down. They might be at the other end telling you don't come into it, but not if you go down, turn around halfway and come back up. Is it? And he was like fully like, oi! It was like that, properly shaking. He was like, like stern face. And I'm like, mate, it's like not a big deal. You know what I mean? There's nobody injured. It's not, nobody's hurt. I'm not blocking the traffic. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like,
yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
But the mouths run away before they can actually think.
He literally,
You know what
he was saying to me is, you can't come out of there, but I'm out of it now. So it's like, well, you can't. You can't. It was like he was almost trying to imply, well, you can't move now. Oh, what? So stay on the roundabout then. We'll just shut the whole roundabout down. Just shut everything. We'll just leave my car here, is it, mate? Because it's apparently whatever.
Yeah.
Plenty of fat. If only he had that many fucking brains as he did his guts, he would have been he'd be up for a Nobel Prize.
Yeah. Exactly. Some people don't have common sense, do they? Like that woman today. she told me to park somewhere else, so we did do. And when I came out to get my car, she moaned at me for parking somewhere else. She then asked me to move my car then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She told me to park somewhere else. Now she's telling me to move my car again.
Well, you asked her to move her car, but she couldn't do it. Now she's asking you to move your car.
Yeah.
She said, oh, I won't be a minute, love. I won't be a minute.
Don't make sense, does it? Know what I mean? A bit of a politeness. I said, excuse me, I can't get out. Can you move your car across, please? Might not have said precise words like that, but I did use manners. And she turned around and went park somewhere else. Fair enough, I did. But yeah, instant karma. Don't you like it? I do.
and another one today. Like, all right, I was coming up to a road. There were traffic lights on the road, so basically I could see that there was cars waiting. I come up to a T junction, but I'm coming on to now. I can't see traffic lights because I'm just a T junction onto a controlled area where they got temporary traffic lights. So I got to fit in, haven't I? I got to go left or right, and I got to fit in. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm there like that, and I'm waiting with everyone, waiting for the lights to turn. I can see a woman. I make eye contact with her, and I'm thinking, well, she'll let me out now in front of her. No. I had to wait 3 fucking minutes for fucking all the cars to go before I could come out. She's looking at me. I'm indicating I'm there. I'm there waiting for a minute, like, you know, for the. It's normal. Like, you come first, then come on because you've been waiting. Come out then. No. Vroom. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's like a set of traffic lights near us, 4-way traffic lights. And it's quite a narrow turning, for buses and stuff. So they got to swing. So if you go too far forward, the bus can't swing and stuff like that. And as bus comes up the pasture, it needs to turn right down another sharp street. Say about 3 or 4 cars, yeah. And guess what? All the cars block up the road. The cars behind him come up behind him, so he can't move. Then the lights change. The lights change, and then we can't move. Turn right because the cars in front of us are coming up, getting jammed in this. We can't go right because there's no room to go in. It happens every single day, and you think common sense, fair enough, leave a bit of gap. I always do, but you just see idiots that don't. But people drive now without thinking.
There's people as well. I mean, it's literally like you're coming up. It's a 2-lane onto a roundabout, so 2 sets of cars can go around the roundabout, and you're like, I better be careful here because this person's going to be a spaz and is going to cut across into the right-hand lane and then back left. Yeah, and I see a lot of that. It's like, you know. They just literally they take the roundabout straight, but it's got 2 lanes, so we're both meant to go around at the same time. But you can't risk it because some moron is going to come up beside you and just go straight through. So they're cutting off your lane.
Yeah,
see a lot of that.
I see a lot of that as well, and like you say, does your head in. Yeah. Good job I'm not a copper because I'd be pulling so many people. I'd be the top number 1 traffic officer. Just by seeing how they drive. If they can't drive, pull them over so they've got a license. Simple as. If they've got a license, yeah, and they've blocked like I say, the route for the bus, get them done. I'd have them done for driving without due care and attention for other people.
Do you know
traffic?
Number 1 pet hate is people who put their GPS up on the screen, like right in their field of vision, like that, right next to them. So it's now they can't see the road because they got this thing there. Because this is more important than seeing the road because you need to have it there, right in front of you. Yeah? And even if it's a bit to the left or a bit to the right, they couldn't see a child run out. If a child ran out or across the road or an animal, they're not going to see it because this thing is in their field of vision. Yeah. If I was a police officer, I would be hammering every fucker I could possibly. I'd be saying it's in your field of vision. You're blocking your fucking windscreen. It's there to see the road, not to see a fucking phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right there because, like you say,
loads
of people. When you look at it, you can see people, like you say, driving down. Right. At least we've got all that off our hair and chest and. Relax.
Yeah.
So apart from all the stress and stuff, it's been good. Nice of you all to join in. I needed to do a live stream, like you say, to chill out tonight, and excellent.
If it was a good idea, Tesla wouldn't put the screen down there. So you have to turn your head and look at it. They put it up in front of you, wouldn't they? So you'd have to look around it to drive. It'd stick it right in front of you, wouldn't they? If it was a good idea. Which manufacturer sticks their their GPS in the windscreen. They don't do it, do they?
No.
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to have anything hanging on your mirror. These flappy things and dice and things like that. They're saying that the police are having a go at those now.
Yeah, I've took all mine out. The only thing there is a dash cam. So, like I say, I've got caught her and all that incident on camera anyway. Got a dash cam, but it's at the top, and believe if
it's not in the line of sight.
No, even if it's not in the line of sight, even if it's in the glass area, the clear glass area, anything in that area is a no-no, basically. If you move it right behind your camera, the mirror itself, you're all right.
Yeah,
but mine won't fit there.
Mine is behind the mirror. Yeah,
mine won't fit there. But what I do, fold the sun visor down, and that covers it. So there's my line of sight. It's not even there, so you can't say it's blocking it. And two, I put my sun visor down. It's a bit of privacy because all these cameras are going about now. It's going to get worse, you know, all that.
Yeah, you know, when I consider how many times I've been stopped over the years for just anything and everything, you know, all the time because I got a flag on my car, you know. So it's like I get stopped. I got stopped the other day, you know. It was like people were in the car and I said, there you go. Told you. How many times have you been stopped? And then people are like, oh, never. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. No, it's a regular fucking occurrence to me. It's fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was the point I was saying? Oh yeah, I get stopped all the time. But then I'm thinking, like, well, what about these people with bollocks number plates made up with letters that aren't like legal? There's a legal format for number plates, and they do not follow it at all. And how come they're not getting pulled over and fined?
Yeah.
It's quite easy to spot them. You know, they stand out a mile.
Comment below. Dashcam hardwired in. Yeah, but sometimes it drains your battery overnight, and I've had that on mine. That's why my battery was dead the other week, because I hardwired it in. So
I keep mine on 24/7, and to be honest, I've never had a problem. I keep all my chargers in there, my battery chargers and my power for my dash cam, and everything's on the whole time. But I got a big diesel battery, and to be honest, it doesn't touch it, like, you know.
Yeah. Basically, what I do, I keep it running basically constantly.
Yeah, I do.
Even though it's got a bump collision, because, pardon me, when I tested it, after the bump collision, it takes a few seconds for it to actually boot up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hardwired it in constantly, and it strained my battery. So I had to redo all that. So that's all sorted now. So no more flat batteries. Someone was asking about your picture in the background, Matt.
Oh, this is just AI generated thing. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the guys from the back rooms, isn't it? You know, like in their secret vault in the back rooms. Yeah.
Richard is saying hello. Hello, mate. Angel's not about because no food. Not yet.
Oh, she was. She was literally before the live stream started. I had a sausage roll and she was right there.
Susan.
She's had a cheeseburger today. She was barking like crazy when we were at the window, like, give it now. Where is it? Where is it? And the woman came over and she goes, it's all right. It's coming.
She knew it was coming there. Definitely.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, that. You spoil her too much. You'll have to watch it with the burgers, with cheese and that. Cheese is not that much for them, is it? Not good.
Oh, cheese is brilliant for dogs. They love it. Oh, they love it, mate. Well, but if you give them too much, they'll fart. But I think some dogs are worse than others. If you give it to some dogs, they're like, you know, continually farting. But my dog eats everything. She eats curries, onions, everything.
Yeah. Welcome in, Andrew, from New Zealand. Great to see you in. I hope we make you feel warm and welcome and enjoy the live chat.
He don't need to. He's down in like a nice part of the world where it's summer. He don't need that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is nice weather there at the moment.
Making us feel jealous.
Yeah.
Dinkum was saying he was like 37 the other day. He's like, oh, I'm off out to my swimming pool now. I'm like, you bastard.
Well, at least it's not as cold as last week. Bleeding hell.
Yeah.
It was cold and windy, wasn't it?
Mm. I mean, like, come on. He's like, it's 37.
In.
He's 37. He's living in Australia. He's got a nice big house, and he's got a swimming pool, and he's got a few cars. Fuck you, buddy. How dare you?
We should go down and all like have a meet up at Dinkum's.
We're going to come and stay at your house, Dinkum.
Yeah,
for about 3 months. All right, is that cool? We're going to come down.
Is that where the next Armageddon is? Yeah,
that's where Armageddon is taking place.
Urbangeddon, that's it. Urbangeddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intergeddon. Yeah. International Geddon.
Oh, there's his reply, Matt.
Yeah, screw you. Screw you, buddy.
How come you get all the bad comments and I don't? Know what I mean? They must pick on you, Matt.
It's because I'm what's known as a controversial character.
Oh, he said, come on down, yeah. Yeah, it's open for it.
Mate, I would love to come down and say hello to you one day. And if you do come to London, because I think you said you were going to come to London for something, we'll have to hook up. And not like that, right? Not like that, right? Just like as friends.
You're right,
like brothers. Yeah. And I don't mean like that, like brothers. Because we might do that down where you live, but not here. We don't accept that sort of thing. Yeah.
There's another brother there in the house, Mr. John.
No keeping
right, mate.
No keeping it in the family. Who sent me a message? What the hell? Oh, yeah. He's just said, yeah. Yeah, he's just sent me a picture of his big pool.
His
big pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was an invitation, folks.
His whole spike's fill the pool, was it? Yeah.
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 It's safe. We speak English here.
I'm getting feedback on my mic there, laughing too much. But yeah, it's great. This youngest too. Great, excellent. I love the banter. That's what I mean. Let's get into the live chat, and this is why I wanted to do it tonight as well, because I needed just to relax after getting all that. Yeah, stressful today. I need to keep my stress levels down after what I've had, what I've been through.
Talking about, brothers and things. All right,
I'll send him the link.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No names mentioned here, right? No names mentioned. But I was out with somebody one day, and he had his twin brother with him, and I went, all right. I said, look, I can't tell you from him. I said, can you imagine if you shagged him? It'd be like shagging yourself. And he was like, he was not happy. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. But like, you look the same. So therefore, yeah. He was not impressed.
No, you won't be, would you?
Shh. No, shut up. No.
Excellent explanations.
Yeah, well done, Mick, but I removed that.
Yeah, Richard, I try and interact as much as I can with the audience and stuff like that. So if you're new here, there's supposed to be a live stream when you hit 2,000 subscribers. I've already hit that. So doing live stream, what I'm talking about, once I hit my 2,000 subscribers, is going to be a giveaway. Got loads of merch down here, and it's free for you to enter. And yeah,
Hang
it'll
on,
be
but
great.
you got 2,600 subscribers, so
Exactly.
you've
I was,
already hit 2K.
exactly. That's why I'm saying 2K like that, because I hit 2K when I had my stroke. You see,
Ah.
and since then my subscribers gone up. So I
Oh,
need to
so
get
what you need
this.
is to have another stroke, and it'll make your subscribers go up.
No,
Right.
no, no. I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is I need to get this live stream that I had planned for 2,000 subscribers and throw it out. I know there's one poor subscriber that's not here no more. He's passed away because tragic accident, or not accident, but probably a manslaughter charge on the books. We all know what we're talking about there. Tom's. He's well game for it. He was even leaving comments in the videos. Even there's no dates in, no for the code. It'll all make sense in the future when I do the live stream. Anyway, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, because I won't have a clue what I'm talking about at the moment if it just jumped on.
So yeah. if you want to come on one of my lives and have a stroke, right? That can get me to 100,000 quicker.
Whoa, getting a bit personal there, Matt.
Come on. I mean, like, I'm all for the views, man.
Yeah, but not jumping on your live stream and giving you a stroke, especially what happened on your last live stream, what you pulled out.
All right, I tell you what, I'll do you a favor, right? At the start of the live stream, I'll ring 999. So when halfway through the live stream it happens, right? They'll be at the door, so you get proper treatment, like yeah.
Yeah. Are you on 100K now, Matt?
Million. 100 million K. Yeah. No, I'm at 60,000 and something.
60, yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, you've done a live stream thing the other day.
Yeah, actually, I haven't put that back up because we had a special a surprise appearance on the show. We had a special guest.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And you're talking about coming up and having a stroke. I'm like, well, no. That's a bit too much.
Yeah, that's why I want you to come on the show. So my special guest comes on and he has a stroke.
Oh, wrong one there, yeah. Oh, it's jumped again. Exploding Carlin. You're right, mate. There's another old buddy there. Good to see. And yeah, it is one of the ones that got us into doing YouTube, so it's great to see him. Excellent. We've got our next victim in. Oh, no, that disappeared. We'll get the next victim in a minute.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, there's another old face. Yeah, Richie, welcome in, mate.
Hey.
Nice to see you. Excellent. Yeah, it's great to see everyone in there.
Richie Werlock. Richie Werlock.
Mavita, yeah. Manager survives in the area. That's the one. I remember that. Pretty funky night that actually, where me and Carl went out up to do the DJ. Carl's done all the DJs and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Daniel's in as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people who just watch the chat and listen and not mention or say hi or nothing like that. So yeah, it's great to see people who we know and especially new faces coming in and stuff. So yeah, and let's see if we can hit 100 thumbs up tonight. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Give us a good likes tonight. I don't even know what we're on now, so we've got 144 in. That's excellent. And appreciate everyone in the chat, so it's cool. And yeah, you can see me. I'm getting more hyped up now as we go from the start of the show. Now I'm all hyped up because I'm seeing the audience interacting with the audience. They're interacting with everyone. It's great.
Unless they're
Yeah.
brothers, then it's not allowed. Yeah.
Oh,
I was going to say, Will,
totally disappeared now.
get yourself a pair of crutches. Keep them in the car, right? If you ever get any chip off somebody like that, going like, no, I don't care, like, all right, then what you want to do is go in the supermarket and walk around on your crutches, like, all right, it'll make them feel really fucking guilty, like, oh shit, I was like mean to him, and look, he's on crutches, he can't walk properly, and I look at him hobbling around, and I was mean to him, and I made him park somewhere else, and he's like, and then what you do is, as you're leaving, like, all right, just put them over your shoulder and like fucking walk out like as they see you, like, I'm singing in the rain as you're leaving, like, fuck off.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say then. Yeah, but like you say, that was a great idea.
Now.
Yeah. I don't know. No, gone. Oh, that's it. That video was saying where I might have caught something paranormal on when me explores when I was out on my own.
Yeah.
I'll get that up now and share the screen. That's the one. Share screen. And can I just apologise if I show anyone's number by accident, because I always do.
Hang on. Kaylee's live now. What? Is she? Hang on.
Oops.
Is she really live? Jesus. And she is. They got
Screen, that's it.
They got 132, and you've got, hang on, 144.
Wow. That's excellent. That's great, that. Share. I can't believe that.
Will's got a better figure. It's a bit sexier. That's what it is.
Do you like me sexy body?
It's like...
Right. You can see this now, can't you? If I click on that now, full screen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we've done sound, but you don't need sound anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Flick this up here.
Flick it.
Right. What I'm talking about is this thing here, this curtain part here.
Yeah.
In like the right-hand side where my arrow's going round.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on that, and also check around it, make sure nothing else moves. Because I didn't notice this move at first until I went through editing. So I have to like double click it and check. Ah! There it jumped. It did it then.
I saw it flip forwards to backwards.
How can I move that now?
That's weird, isn't it? Oh, do karaoke there. Look.
See, nothing else moves, and there's no, know what I mean? No one else is in there apart from me. Right, close that. Didn't show a link there for the video, did I? I'll put it on private anyway now, unless it is on private. I better do that now just in case. You have a look in the comments because I don't know what people are saying about it. You know me, I don't do paranormal or nothing, but I just thought that's a bit weird. That
there's a paranormal night at the Groundlings Theatre, Portsmouth. Hang on, what's that? What is that even? Groundlings Theatre, Portsmouth. Oh, that's a small theatre, isn't it? Very narrow front. What? That's how it must be at the back. Hang on. Where's the... Where is the? I want to see like the stage and how big the stage is because it looks bloody tiny. This place. It's got a bar. Come on then. Where's the stage? So they just got close-ups. Maybe they don't want to show you that it's quite small. Hang on. Oh no, it's one
What,
of
the
those.
paranormal
No, it's a
place?
sort of micro theater. Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 8 people wide. Not that big. I've been to places like that before. They're quite nice, but yeah, you're very close to the action. Like the only trouble is though they're only putting a show on for a small amount of people when they do it like that. But it is quite personal. You're right there. Where they're doing the stuff usually when it's that small.
And what show was that, did you say they're doing?
Paranormal.
A paranormal one, yeah.
9th
See, I
of
was
Feb.
listening while I was trying to sort out the comments or what I was doing, the video. Yeah.
And apparently, groundling is a term for a spectator who stood in a part of the theatre in Shakespeare's time when there were no seats. So they were on the ground. They were the groundlings.
Is that where it comes from?
That's apparently where it comes from.
Oh, we've got Fats in.
I hope that doesn't mean there's no bloody seats in there.
Yeah, Fats, nice to see you in, mate. Good to see you. Need to catch up with him as well and have a good chat and just chill out. Yeah, I know him. I used to work with him and all that. So yeah, I'm glad my internet's working. Everything seems working at the moment, so it's gone a good live stream.
Wow.
Yeah, I might have to go back there and just make sure there's no windows open again because that's just caught my eye. That
Explore Carl says, I'm going to buy a drone tomorrow. Is all the info on the box what I need to do, like register? And they don't really give you many instructions, but what you do is you go and get the app on your phone, and you plug the controller into the app, then you power on the drone, power on the controller, and it will fire up the app on your phone, and then you can register that drone to you. Then you have to create with your email and a password, and then that drone will then be kind of registered to you. It's a bit of a pain because they often make you like give them a telephone number these days as well. So they then send you a code and you have to confirm it, and you only have to do it once. But yeah, boring.
yeah, I don't mind, but I think I had some help setting it up. Someone had done it for us.
Yeah.
Or you talked us through it or something.
Apparently, DJI recently, all these like no-fly zones where you fly near a school and it will go no, and you fly near a prison, it will go no, and all this sort of stuff. Apparently, DJI have lifted most of their restrictions. They're now saying it's your responsibility. It's not for us to block you. It's for you. So apparently, it's got a lot lighter and easier. So you don't have to there's a process to apply online for permission to fly there that day, and then they want a bank card because it's linked to you and a telephone number, and then they send you a code and you can unlock that area to fly in.
Yeah.
So less of that crap. Doesn't affect me because my drone's hacked. It'll fly anywhere I want. Yeah. I can't be arsed with all that crap.
Yeah, Carl's saying it's not a DJI app on Android.
Yes, but the thing is, there's the old drones like the Phantoms, they have the DJI, I think it's called, is it DJI 4 app or something like that? And the new drones have DJI, oh God, what's it called? DJI Play or something like that. I've only got the older drone things, but yeah, DJI Go 4 is for the Mavic 1, Mavic 2. DJI something else is for the Mavic 3. And I think that software is actually crap compared to the old ones. The old ones are better.
Yeah. I don't think you can get my app no more for the first one, can you? You have
What
to get a new one for the
drone?
DJI Mini. I've got the very first Mini.
Yeah, the minis require you to use the new app, which is I can't remember what it's called now, but it's DJI Go or something.
Mine doesn't. No, mine doesn't. Mine still uses the old one.
What the Go
DJI
4?
Fly.
Ah, that's it. Fly, DJI
Yeah.
Fly. Yeah, you have to use that with a Mavic Mini. Yeah, onwards.
Yeah, it keeps saying update or whatever. I just say no, and then turn my internet off once I get my location. Know what I mean? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
on a phone that's got no phone, so I've got to use my phone hotspot to connect that up to the internet, so then it knows where it is to allow you the extra height and stuff.
yeah,
And I was wondering why it weren't let me go so far at first and high and stuff, but now I've sussed that out. Like you say, it's just on off once it updates. So new update, you want to update later, turn it off, and then you're allowed to go back up. Then turn your internet off, hotspot.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tom on a mission says, Matt, you always 5V LOS anyway. Visual line of sight. Of course I do. I can see that. I can see that drone when it's 3,000 meters away. I can see it perfectly. Even with the goggles on, I've still got visual line of sight with it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've done a couple of videos for Richard with my drone. I'm sure I have. I know we've done one there on hospital and somewhere else. Also, we went to Mantor Road. There's a road up in the hills in the northwest, basically, over the Saddleworth way. Well, probably Derbyshire way, more that way. And basically, it's a road that keeps collapsing and it keeps getting washed down the mountain. And they've abandoned it now, closed it down since the 60s, 70s. And while we're there checking it all out, me and Richie was there and his son was with us at the time. So I said, yeah, gave him the drone to fly. He was like, what? I don't know how to do it. I went, dead easy. Just hold that and push. And he was like, oh, I like this. And he was there flying in front of us over this cliff thing, over the hill. Yeah.
Yeah, you try giving a non-DJI drone to somebody and seeing how quickly they crash. DJI drones a bit easier to fly than most.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I love the way if you just let go, it just stops there.
Speedwell Caverns. What's all that about? I've just booked Rhodes next door. Is he going abroad again? He's going on holiday.
That's Mick.
Oh, Mick Spanner. Sorry, I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, no. It was Carl said Speedwell Caverns, and Mick said I've just booked Rhodes.
Yeah. Speedwell Caverns. Yeah, it's over that way. Where we're talking about the Mantone Road or whatever. I've forgotten the name of it now. Mantor Road. Yeah. I told you my memory's rubbish at the moment. Oh.
Tom on a mission says, don't go out with a Mini 1 in more than 8-mile-an-hour wind. Oh, yeah, I learned that one. Yeah. About the third flight, I took it out, and it was just like, woo, bye, gone. And the thing is, it didn't give me a chance to kind of like get control again. It was just like, it sort of went, I'm flying away. Screen goes black. Now I got nothing to work out what's going on.
Then it return home, no?
No, because the wind was too high.
The wind's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I fly mine and get a wind warning, I just keep my eye on it a bit more, and if it does start to drift, that's when I start bringing it down. Or
Yeah.
as soon as I get a warning, bring it down. If I'm high enough for what I want to film. If I'm not, I might just push it up a little bit more, and you get your wind warning, like you say, and keep your eye on it, because, like you say, it tends to drift. And if it does, bring it down straight away. And also, once you bring it down, get it to hover when it's not getting the wind notice, and then go to your safety, then return to home height is that height then. Say it's that height. So if it does get blown away, it'll reduce its own height and come towards you.
Trouble is, if you reduce the height for return to home, it can hit things on the way back. And it only flies at a slow speed. It'll put 10 miles an hour of pace to return home. Whereas when you're flying it with the sticks, you can do 30 miles an hour. So if it's only putting 10 miles an hour of pace into it, it can get blown back really easily. So it's not a good idea to rely on return to home. If it's a windless day, you might get your drone back. But yeah. And to be honest, I mean, remember that the higher you go, the higher the speed of the wind. So if you set your return to home height nice and high so it doesn't hit anything, of course, it was having trouble to start with. Now it goes really high to return to home, and it's really far back. So if you can gain control of it, you know, even if you haven't got a picture on the screen, if you can see which way it's pointing on the map, you know, just point it towards yourself and then just put it into sport mode, stick full forwards. And if it's safe to do so, bring the height down and down and down, you know, to kind of get more speed. So you'll see the speed coming on as you come down, but don't go crazy low because you're going to hit the trees and wires.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but yours went blank, didn't it, and disappeared, your first one. I still got my first one.
I had a
hello, Adrian. Nice of you to come in.
I had a phantom fly away from me, and I found it in the trees in a forest. I found it on the floor, and it had gone into a load of leaves, and I just saw the battery light flashing. That's how I found it. And I had a Mavic 1 once. I was flying towards a crop circle, and it just the controller just jammed up, and I like no screen, no map, no nothing. And I was watching it, and it was just flying off by itself across the field. I was like, "Oh, for frig's sake!" It's like no, I wasn't putting any controls in. It was just like going across the field by itself. It's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Anyway, that's why I started putting a beeper on my drone, and I haven't put it on recently because the beeper, you can hear a beeper for about 2 kilometers. You can hear the thing going beep beep beep. If it crashes somewhere, you're never going to find it unless you've got something to kind of tell you where it last was. Well, if the app's crashed, the beeper, you can just do that and find it. So it's a good thing. So I just put a little battery on a beeper, Velcro, stick it on the drone. And I've stopped doing it recently, but it has saved my life. That has a couple of times. Excellent. There's a Mavic Zoom on the bottom of the ocean, red sand forts. Yeah, it's out there somewhere. Probably, well, the plastic will survive for 100 years, but yeah, there's some plastic floating in the sea somewhere.
The total frequency's on. Excellent. Nice to see you, mate. Do you want to send him the link, Matt? If he wants to come up.
I can do, yes. I can send him the link, yeah.
B-Face there as well. Just came in. Hello, mate. Woo!
Shall I send him the link as well?
Yeah. Yeah, just for people, new people, he's a bit loud sometimes, so
yeah,
he's
well, he told me today, like, you know, he's been out with this guy called Secret Vault ages ago, and I was like, well, it's a fucking takes two to tango, like saying you haven't been out with me, well, you haven't come down, have you? Oh. So let's get you on, yeah. I can only feel sorry for this much sorry for you because you're driving up and down, seeing your parents and seeing other people, but you haven't chosen to come down and see me. See, I could cry too.
Safari's in. I'm sure he was in before. If not, there he is.
I have to go and see him in London at some point. Go up to London and see him. But I hate London. But I should do. Thing is, though, I'll ask him when he comes on now. I say, "Oh, the thing is, can I bring my dog up with me? I'll stay in your house." Right.
Yeah. So you got any videos coming up soon?
I was editing one earlier on from this care home place I visited today. I've got about 6 or 7 members videos which are going to go out. I put one out today, so starting to run low again. I'll have to get out and film another 10 or so videos.
1 minute, Matt. 1 minute. Got our next victim in before he disappears.
Oh my God, Jesus! What? Who is this? Who is this lightly shaven man with a haircut?
Hardly recognise him, do I?
Oh my God, he's actually got a nose as well. I could never see it before because of all these like hairs hanging out of it. But yeah, now I can see it.
How are you, John? You all right?
I'm all right now. Now the microphone's working. The whole thing just decided to stop on me. So
Is that why you disappeared before?
As well, John.
Yeah.
Quiet.
I'm a bit quiet, am I? Hang on.
You're a bit quiet.
I'm a bit quiet. Back off.
Quiet. Quiet.
So you're editing your video, you say, Matt?
Yeah, I was editing a video this afternoon.
The one today.
Yeah, it doesn't need much more doing to it, to be honest.
Is that better?
That's all right.
Yeah. Sounds
nice.
Good. Yeah.
Nice one.
Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother. He says, Gurning.
Don't know if you heard the news or not. John?
What's that, mate?
Dinker and Ozzy said we can go down there and have a Urban-geddon.
In Australia.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Give me the money and I will go.
We just got to talk him into paying for the flights now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Tell you what though, it would be good though, wouldn't it? To, like, just go down there and meet people like who you know and stuff. Yeah.
That would be mental.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd be a mad road trip that, or holiday? Not even a holiday. It's some sort of trip, isn't it? Yeah.
Torture. Yeah.
Torture.
3 months with Dinkum Aussie. Yeah. It'd be like.
Yeah, I let all these pommies over here for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I hope I hope he pay us as well. Like on in addition to getting our air tickets, I hope we get paid to come. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that smoking a cigar behind you, John?
It's Godzilla.
Godzilla. Is it? Guess that.
But isn't it coffee Godzilla? Coffeezilla.
Coffeezilla. No,
There'll be a coffee after that.
Smoking a cigar, and that's what come up.
Who'll be coughing after that?
Still not as good as the pandas taking drugs, but you know.
Well, that was classic hours. Yeah.
I can't get anything else like that.
What you say?
Well, I said I can't get anything else like that. Every time I try, it won't let me know.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, a lot of these AI things are kind of held back by the companies so that they go, oh, no, you can only go through us to get your answers, you know. But like if they, you can create your own, you can actually generate your own stuff. But what people will do is they'll just find a way, they'll just hack it and they'll go, well, this is the greatest AI thing here. And here it is. And you can install it on your machine and run it from your machine. And now you can tell it what the rules are. And you can say, no rules. You go like, I'm going to have so much fun.
So will I. You know it's coming.
500 penises like coming out of every window of a hotel. Yeah, there we are. That's my new thumbnail for the next video.
That's if let you have it.
Sorry, Will's mum. Sorry. I apologise.
Yeah, basically get caught coming in the dinghy into England and just say we're from Australia.
Yeah, it's like
they'll go, fuck you, let's send you back, because that's what they do. They don't care over there.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great. That
it's like that Transylvania 65,000 or something, a movie, and he goes, there's an asylum. He goes, we'll never get in there. He goes, yeah, we will. He goes, well, how can you get into an asylum? He goes, watch this now. And he goes, patient tried to escape. Like, all right. and then he's walking around like this, and they go, "Get him back in there, get him back in there." So he's in, right? And then when it's time to leave, he goes, "Member of the public trying to get in. Member of the public trying to get in." He goes like this, and they go, "Get him out of here." So he's like, "Get back out." Yeah, classic.
We've got our next victim in as well. Hello, mate.
Oh, I'm off now. This is the last you're going to see of me, so make the most of it. I'll be back now.
You all right, big face?
Yeah.
How's
Been
things
all
going?
right.
All right.
Yeah. I haven't really been up to that much. The last thing I did was building in Birmingham. What Matt sent me.
Oh, you went up
Nice.
to it, yeah. Cool.
What, have you done it?
I've got.
No, I've not done it, me. But I've seen the place. I've seen Matt's video.
I've got a few to do down here now. Someone's sent me some bits and pieces, and they're proper good. Hopefully, they look good anyway. So
Yeah.
that'll be. I'm going to go shortly. Not today, obviously, but there will be a few coming out soon because these are like, oh, nice.
Didn't you just release one last week or something? Not.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was meant to be a premiere, but I put it as a premiere. And then YouTube decided that it didn't want to have a premiere, and it went no, and it just come out. I'm like, fucking hell. So yeah, that was in a forest, and it's just got like some Hudson what they call bunkers and some other little bits, which was brilliant. And like some trucks in there as well. You have to watch it, but it's good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. Oh, who sent me a message?
Oh, I can guess.
No, it's a proper message.
Oh, I've got one as well. But I think someone's asleep tonight.
Oh,
Oh no. They're not
sniff my
asleep.
finger. No, she won't sniff my finger. She did look. Paw my finger. Oh yeah, there we are. She pawed my finger. Here you go.
Yeah.
Bit sausage roll. He's gone now. Look, he's
There
messing
she is.
around with his settings and he's fucked it.
Who?
Barry, I'll have a think about it, buddy. I'm not sure. I'll have a look later. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Carl, I love. Sorry, Will. I love that picture in the background, man. Apex Twin, fucking brilliant.
That's a place in Wales. It's Lambadis Bomb Store. That's where that is.
That's actually off his album cover. That it's like taken from his album cover.
I didn't know who it was, to tell you the truth. Carl told me it was and explained it was off his cover, like you say.
Yeah, it's off his album cover. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up, but it is. It's a good album, actually. Must admit. Oh, bye, B-Face. Thanks. See ya.
I think he pressed the wrong one, didn't
Jesus.
I? He'll be back.
I had to reset it because it were like my headset just died and it were like, no, your speakers will not work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not allowed to press any buttons. Not allowed. Not allowed.
That's a bit weird because I had trouble with my audio coming in. It wouldn't detect anything to do with the microphone or even the internal microphone. Fiddled around a bit, reset, and seemed to be all right now.
Yeah, what's happened? We haven't seen each other in ages. It's been weeks. I might not even know you anymore.
Weeks. Jordan's got one of those infectious smiles where his upper teeth show and he goes, ha, 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 ha. When I laugh, I go, ha, 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 ha. I'm like a freaking goat. Ha, 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 ha.
It's because I've got nice teeth and I like to display them. It's like a mating display. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, watch out, Jordan. You're getting everyone turned on in the chat now. Stop it.
Yeah.
I've got to start rubbing my legs and knees in a minute.
You're mating. I am rubbing my leg right now. I'm rubbing my knee and my leg right now.
I'm rubbing my third leg.
Yeah.
We've been across there before. He wants me going down to his in stroke, giving me a stroke on his live stream. If you missed all that, if you missed all that, John, it's crazy. We was talking about it before.
Hear it, yeah.
Jordan's wearing his cloud busting T-shirt. Cloud busting T-shirt.
Yeah.
Me and John feel left out now.
It's really high quality. This T-shirt's actually really more impressive than it looks because it's like printed out with like really premium materials, and it's not like that's cheap screen printing that chips off. It's actually like properly.
Bye.
Yeah, me and John feel left out now, not having one of them.
Bye again. Bye.
You should have come to cloud busting.
Oh, she going?
Bye.
I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, first time I've heard
It was
of
like Canada in Bath, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kate Bush, cloud busting.
Ah.
But it wasn't Kate Bush. It was a tribute band they called Cloud Busting, and they're good. They were really good.
Oh, they were. Oh, that's good.
Mm. Yeah. But they only sold their stuff, their T-shirts and CDs in the break beforehand and in the break, and then afterwards it was like all gone. And it was like, well, hang on, everyone coming out who's really impressed now thinks they want to buy something. They're screwed. Well, that's not good. That's not good marketing technique, is it? It's like, oh,
no,
yeah,
it makes more sense.
Kept looking at us. The singer kept looking at us at cloud busting at me and Luke. And we were all like really animated, dancing about and jumping and like singing out loud to this song. And when we came from the break and she saw us all with the T-shirts on, she's like, you know what I mean? Wasn't she?
Yeah.
Aye. Right, I'm empty anyway. I'm going to get another one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to undo my belt because I'm a fat bastard.
Pardon me. Here comes another one. Here it comes again. Here comes another one. And here comes a bunch of them. Thank God I've not had lunch with them. Remember that? What's that from, folks? Tell us what that's from in the chat. Oh, Jesus. So you're stuck in the house tonight then?
Yep. And then tomorrow I'm going to meet up with Luke. And then I'm with Luke during the period that I mentioned. But I was speaking to Luke and saying maybe we should come down for a few days or something. Because there's those urbexes that you mentioned near the thingy place. And, you know, the place that you mentioned near what you were near a certain place that we did what were big.
Yeah, not far from there. Yeah, that one would be okay because it's quite big. It's going from building to building and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it's not going to be there very long, so it'd be nice to catch it before it's demolished. Yeah,
right, it's gone. Yeah.
You got any plans to go out doing some urbex, John?
Yeah, so I was meant to go out this Sunday, but it didn't quite work out. I had a bit of a fucking shit weekend. I've got a few places to go actually now, which is quite local. I didn't even know. I'm like, fucking hell. So there's one, and it's completely overgrown. And someone has said like they tried to get in, but they couldn't. It was all overgrown everywhere. And I looked at it on the map, and went, fuck, that'll be all right. Just go for it. Just go in the forest, have a bit of a fucking rummage. It'll be right. I mean, everything's overgrown.
Did you release that place that me and Milo did recently?
I haven't yet. No, actually, because I mean, it was only what it is when I put the members' videos out. Sometimes I'll break this rule, and what I do is I put them out and then they wait. You know, because it's like they're
There's a
like
backlog.
waiting, and then I
Yeah.
put the oldest members ones out that have been waiting for a long time. But sometimes if a video is really good, and I'm just thinking like I've had a good video, a medium video, a good video, now I need a mega video, and it's like sometimes I'll jump one, and just pop it out. Yeah.
When you
Was
do
anyone else
members, Matt,
waiting to go there?
Hmm.
Is it?
Hmm.
Is anyone else still waiting to go to that place?
I don't think so. Not really.
So it
I
can
mean,
be
do you want
discussed now openly without any.
I think so. Yeah, I think everyone's done it that we know that would probably want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Go ahead. I know what he's going to say
that-
now. I know what he's going to say.
That organ when you go in there and when you go into that.
Don't discuss my organ. Yeah. I know it's massive, and it took a while for you to climb up it and all that, but yeah.
Yeah, when you go into that room,
when he went inside it as well, like.
yeah, it's like when you go into that room,
inside
it's like
organ.
massive. If it's like massive, and we had like that. What was that wooden box in the middle of it?
That's my packet of Duracells. That's where I keep all my ping pongs.
That'd be a signal and a half. Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you don't need to know, folks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I need a good game of table tennis. That's up there somewhere as well. That's up there somewhere. Yeah. I've lost track now.
Oh.
But what that like weird wooden box in the middle of the room? Do you know that like MDF room that they built in the middle of the hall?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they built a little. That was a tool shed, wasn't it? They would have put their tools in there when they were working. So they go home at night, they lock their tools in the shed in the middle of the room, and then go home, come back next day, unlock it.
Yeah,
taking everything out
when we walked in.
No, because they've done all the work, and they come out. They've done their sort of preliminary gutting, and then it's like when they come back in, it'll be next stage gutting, which is going to be quite serious gutting. It's probably going to be major structural.
Yeah, because there's lots of water damage on them shops on the front, isn't there? You go up, some of them, you go up towards the shop, and it's like waterlogged. So has it been abandoned for ages then before these companies took it over and gone, right, we're gonna?
I think it has been. It's probably about 10 years or something like that. It's been, but the thing is, there's very visible and obvious roof tiles off the roof. So I mean, it's a purchased building. They're going to do something with it. Surely, just put some tiles in there. It doesn't take much. Just buy a few tiles and slide them in, or cover the roof.
That's it, isn't it? Either lose a building because they can't be bothered paying a couple of quid to get the roof done.
Yeah.
For a few tiles. Fair enough, it might cost them $1,000 for a few tiles or whatever. But if they leave it, it'll cost them like a new roof, which costs them tens of grands. You know what I mean?
Half a million to fix the roof,
Barry Little's in.
No, because this company that's taking it over, I actually got big ambitions for it, because when you go into a certain room, we've got like pictures of what that like main hall's going to look like, and it shows all the red tables in the center of the room, and then on the podium where all the seats used to be, it shows seats being there. So is it going to be like an events place? Are we going to have like events on, like a bit like Comedia Bath, but on a bigger scale?
They were going to keep the hall as a hall, and they were going to put posh seating in there where you'd have like table lamps on a table, but you're looking at the stage, and a cinema screen. Now, I hope those things turn off, because I mean, who the wants a table lamp in front of you when you're trying to look at a stage?
It's not going to work, is it?
No.
I mean, it looks good
The-
on paper, but in practical terms, it's like, well, you can't see the bloody stage now because you've got something like that sitting in front of you, which has got light coming out of it.
They might be adjustable. They might be dimmable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might have them on really bright when you first get into the room so you can see where you're going, and then they might dim them right down so they just barely produce like a little enough light just so you can barely see what's on your table, and then or they might just turn them off.
Still distracting though, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't.
If you're
make a lot
planning
of
on having
sense.
a projector like a cinema screen, though, you don't want light bleeding onto your cinema screen, do you? Really? From the projector itself, because that can deteriorate the performance.
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve, welcome in, mate.
yeah. But it'd be interesting because they're going to build on the roof. They're going to put flats up on the roof, so they'll have to revamp or put in new lift shafts because there's no way people are going to walk all the way up there every day to get to their house to go to. So they're going to have to. It's going to be a hell of a lot of work they're going to do. But
Are we not going to keep it as venues on the roof?
not venue. No, it's going to be glass fronted flats up on top, so they got a good view of the city. I think. Yeah.
So they're really modernising it. It's not going to look classic like it does now.
No, they'll have to make the building will look the same. They might clean it up a bit.
But if we're putting glass flats on the roof, then it's going to look like the building will look the same with tacky glass flats on the roof, won't it?
Well,
it will, but I think if you kind of look up, you'll see glass flats. But if you look at the surrounds of the building and the tower, the clock tower, well, not bell, it's a bell tower. Not that it's got a bell in it, but yeah, that'll look the same. But I don't know. Maybe they haven't been given permission to do that. That's what they got on the table. Just because they're showing you what it could look like doesn't mean that it would be agreed to. But I think in Birmingham,
we walked through the building, me and Milo. We didn't find that tower. Was it through that door where the door opens up and it's like an outdoor level?
Right. Okay. Like you got that up the hall. Yeah, the hall is there. Right. Well, if you walk up the seats at the back, so you come up to the top level of the seating, then you go out through the doors, and there's a corridor that comes all the way around.
There's long corridors. Yeah, I know what you're on about. Them really long corridors with nothing on them.
And there was a ladder. There was a ladder there in one of the corridors.
Oh, wow. We must have completely missed that. We must have not, because we didn't walk all the way down the corridors, because we went down one end of the corridor, and then I was like, oh, the other one's probably just the same, and then they just split it off. You know what I mean? It's every time you do that in your mind, and every time I've ever been in an abandoned building and gone, oh yeah, I won't bother with the other side, I leave, and then someone goes, oh, did you know that on the other corridor with all these ladders?
It would be quite an interesting video to go and do once it's been built. See the Art Deco, which is on display or which is hidden behind plasterboard. Know what I mean? You can then put like, this is that wall and this is what's behind it. So you can do now and then fade them between the two. That'll be a pretty good video.
Well, it's a very weird building as well because it's got loads of different. You go in it, and in the main hall area, that main hall area branches off into multiple different bars and venues, doesn't it? So it's like you've got that main hall, but then you've got so many different bars. I don't think when they open it again, I don't think they'll be able to have that big variety of bars really, because there's too many. I think there are too many bars in it.
Those will probably be developed into the houses and the flats, I think. They're quite big. What I was going to say, I realised that the two places I didn't explore, like when you go into the basement, there were two shops I didn't go to, which I was like, I noticed. I was like, I didn't go back there. Shit, two places.
I was speaking to some person, should I say, and they were talking about what they used to do, and they were in the authorities sort of thing. Council or whatever, and they're talking about these dome roofs. We're talking about the one in Manchester, like Primark, basically. Talking about Primark, and if you go in Primark, the top level's got a dome in, right on the top level of Primark itself. It's got a glass dome, and it was telling us before regulations all like kicked in with health and safety. You're actually walking off street level, and look all the way up to the top and see the glass dome. But with health and safety kicked in and fire laws and regulations and all that, that's why they've blocked a lot of them off now on the older buildings. So it's only on top
Yeah,
floor
because
you
the
can
fire
get to
can
see it.
spread through the floors, can't it? So
Yeah.
we want to isolate it from spreading to all those floors, which is a
Fair,
shame because you don't get this spectacular skylight view that you get in the
exactly.
old buildings.
Fair enough. They might have them in the new buildings where you can walk in and have a big high thing to look at, but it's designed in a fire to stop what would happen in them type of situations in the older buildings, basically, or supposed to with the new fire regulations. Obviously, they've got automatic doors that'll close in the newer place and stuff like that, and fans that turn on and turn off depending where the fire is, and sprinkler systems, and yeah, it's all been updated hopefully. So yeah, saves lives. But yeah, I just thought it might be interesting to let you know why you can't see the domes from any other floor. And I didn't understand it until the actual guy said what he used to do, health and safety inspector, told us that's why they've blanked them off now. So you might go into a building with loads of floors on an old building and not get to see the dome because that actual dome is on the like staff only level basically. So yeah. But if you go on
Sometimes
like
they
good
just drop
good
ceiling
old
over the top of them, don't they?
hey?
Sometimes you go up to the staff level though, and they'll have dropped ceiling over the top of it. So there's just a suspended ceiling over the top of the old dome.
Yeah, as well, yeah. But the best way to see whether the building's got a dome or not is on Google Maps, of course. Know what I mean? You just zoom in and see these domes of glass above the buildings.
Or you find out when you get there and you fly your drone up and you're flying over the building and you're like, oh my god, look at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I've been in buildings where they've had a dome in with a roof above it, with like a glass view above it, if you know what I mean, to let the light in, and you can actually walk around the dome top to have a look at the glass.
Were you there in Weatherspoons in Bristol when we went up on the roof and they had a dome up there and we were looking in and we could see all the people drinking down beneath. It was like, it's mega dodgy, but it looked shit from above. It like you can see all the dirt and everything, you know. But like you look up from underneath and it's like it looks clean, but like it don't look clean from that way down. It's like only looks clean from that view. You know, it's stinking from the top down.
Yeah. The one I'm talking about, where I said the domes inside the building, was not naming the place because the guy's not told us not to mention the name, but he's a caretaker of a place in Liverpool, and it's an old Freemason club. And in there was a phone box, an old phone box, UK phone box. So if you know your videos, you know what I'm talking about, where I'm talking about. And then in that building, there's a dome in there basically, and that was encaged within, like you say, skylight. Yeah.
Did I use borax? I use borax in my trainers now, and it stops the smell. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I might use some of that in mine.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's like old school sorts it out. Like they used to, like during the war and stuff, they used to do potassium permanganate to stop trench foot, and then they put borax in the shoes, and it's like it really works, you know. It's like all these sprays you get, you spray them in your shoes, and then it's like, oh Jesus, it's still stinking. Like I put it in the washing machine, still stinks. You know, wash it twice, stick stuff in it, still stinks. It's like, you know, borax, put it in there, 2 weeks, it's not stinking. Brilliant, you know.
Good night, Carl.
You just powder on it. You just put the powder in, leave it for a little while, then take it
It's
out.
like it's like crystals, like salt or whatever. So you put it in there, and then you just wear it with it in there, and it just crunches around underneath your feet and just turns to dust and just works its way in.
What is that borax? What are you talking about?
Yeah, borax. Brady.
You're not Brady. How's it going?
Yeah.
Nice to see you, mate. Better late than never, but at least you're here. That's what counts.
Yeah.
He needs to do a Witherspoon's live stream again, does Brady?
That was funny.
Yeah, do another. Yeah, get in.
Oh,
get
he
in
was
there.
out, wasn't he, when he was on Lash, should I say.
You've just had a $14.99, which is like 36 pence donation of Tinker Mozzie in Australian dollars. It's worth nothing.
Oh,
No, it is actually, but it's worth about
thank you, Duncan, Dinkin. Aussie,
£7.50 donation, because it's Australian dollars, believe it or not, it's like double the exchange rate.
excellent. Nice one, mate.
Everything's really expensive in Australia as well. So it's like, I went down and bought a Big Mac. It was $50. It's like, and they don't bat an eyelid at this, Yeah.
I'll have to see if we've got any more fireworks. 1 minute, please.
1 moment, caller.
There's a hefty donation, though. Right. Anyway, next week. What are you eating then? You're nibbling away, like continually nibbling, nibble.
Slice.
Oh, is it a proper cheese one or a mozzarella?
How do I know that? I just see.
No, that's a cheddar cheese slice because it's standing up by itself. It's not falling over, flopping over. Yeah.
It only flops if I manipulate it. If I don't manipulate it, it stays stiff like that.
It only flops if you manipulate it. Don't flop if you
only if I manipulate it. If I manipulate it in certain ways.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll flop.
I think it's mature cheddar.
Yeah.
Right, he's ready.
Yeah, it wouldn't stand up otherwise. Well, no.
I'm afraid there's no fireworks, but I did find
a box of matches.
A party popper. You ready?
Oh, dear. It came out then, but the white thing just stayed in it. It's like fired out to the side.
No, there's the bottom of it.
Oh, there was an inside white one.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
The charge is in the back here. Oops. The charge is in here, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a plate that pushes back.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
so
pushes
then
forward.
You put all the stuff in there. That's a cover.
And then obviously you light the string on the end.
Yeah.
And it's
you pull string. That ignites the charge and pushes the bottom plate up, which projects the projectiles out. So, yeah.
And what do you put in it, like BBs?
No, you buy them from the shop.
But aren't you supposed to like put them on the ground and like walk a couple of feet away and then ignite them with a pair of wires and then 12-volt battery?
No, they're just party poppers.
Or they're not
safe.
What,
so you just pull the string out? So how does it ignite if you pull the string out, if you're not setting the string on fire?
You have armed response round there now.
Friction.
Be like, oh, he didn't use the 12-volt leads at a 15-meter distance to set it off. Friction.
Yeah. Watch.
I'll tell you about friction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's inside of them? What's actually coming out? Confetti?
Yeah. It's all over the studio now. Look, what have we done now?
Tell you what,
I've never seen them before. It's the first time I saw them. I thought
why is the first time you've seen that? Really? No way. He's led a sheltered life.
I'll be back in a minute, guys. I've got to make an urgent phone call.
Do you know a normal phone? The 60s phones? How to use them?
Yeah, I
Not
do.
the 80s one with the banana on top. Not the one where you pick up like that. The other one where you've all got one piece that you pick up. Do you know how to use them ones?
What, with the
Pete?
round dial?
Oh, I'm still on the screen.
Mm.
B-Face, I'm talking to.
Do you know how to use a round
Oh.
dial phone?
He's gone. Not a round,
Round
not a round dial phone. The one before that, where you get an
Just a
earpiece.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah, just an earpiece there. I gave it away, basically.
Yeah. So you put the earpiece up to your ear, and then you speak into the.
You got to talk.
Yeah, but
bend down to talk to it.
Yeah, but didn't you used to pick
Talk
up the
like
earpiece and then pick up the entire phone, and you'd get connected to an operator straight away as soon as you pick your earpiece up, and you'd say to the operator, "I want to call this person, and they live in this area, and this is their number for this local area." And then at the exchange, they'd be there with like banana plugs going like that, connecting your lines together.
So he is up to date well, not up to date, but he's into his history in technology. So pretty cool that. A lot of people wouldn't know that, yeah.
Yeah,
but saying that he is into his computers and stuff, so technology, yeah.
Yeah, people used to tap the receiver as well. They used to tap the thing. They'd go like tap 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 because it flashes the light. Because when somebody picks up the phone, the light comes on. Yeah, so they know to plug in, and the operator goes hello. But if the operator's not responding, and you're getting pissed off, you can go click 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 click, click up down, and the light goes. So the operator goes, oh, is he getting pissed off? So they're like, yeah.
Didn't they used to also send pulse dialing tones through the payphones in the street to try and get around not paying for them?
Yeah, when they stopped it eventually, but like you could pick up a telephone and you had to put 10 pence in it would activate the dial. But the thing that goes up and down to put the phone up and down, you could just go 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and you could actually pulse dial it out by tapping the thing. As long as you're quick enough, you get a free call.
Yeah, because it's a modem now. In the modern payphones, it's actually a modem, and if you try and tap it and do a pulse dial, it lets you pulse dial 2 numbers, and then it cuts the entire line off and for a period of time and reconnects it without any. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you pick up the receivers now, the mic isn't active until you've actually put money in and dialed
the putting the money in turns the mic on, so that you can't do tone dialing because the mic's off. Yeah, bastards. Do you know what though? There is a way around this. What you do is you find where the wire goes out of the telephone box, right? And you strip the wire back off the copper, and you put 2 crocodile clips on it, and then you use your own phone. It fucking works. Yeah, I have never done this, folks. Yeah.
No, but they teach that in the military, don't they?
Can you not do that when the street, when the street cabinet's just wide open? Could you not just tap into someone's broadband and just go, I've got my own DSL converter. Yeah, they're just with BT, so I can use my DSL converter and just plug it in. And
well, you'd have to take their wires off because you couldn't use your broadband converter whilst they're using theirs because the two would conflict. But if you took their wires out and connected two wires onto their thing, yes, you could.
And would they notice that the internet's gone off? Because you could do it while they were on holiday. If you did it while they were on holiday, you'd know that you got a month until they'll complain if they've gone away.
Yeah,
couldn't you? And then you could sit in your car outside the BT cabinet. You could just use the internet, and then when they complain, the engineer will come. And when the engineer comes, you could just quickly, when you see the BT van driving down the street, you could quickly rip it all out and drive off, couldn't you?
Well,
and just make it look like vandalism.
If you're not about, you get you done for theft, then, can't they?
I mean, like, it would be a really bad idea to make international prank calls on a crocodile clipped wire thing. I would not. Don't do that, folks. It's very bad.
It sounds like it was a common thing, that. 3 phone calls.
To be honest, these days, if you live in a town and you want to get free broadband and you don't want to pay, just get yourself a Yagi antenna, like a high gain antenna for Wi-Fi, and the secret to it is to having a short lead off the back, because it loses the signal very, very quickly. So you have a short lead onto a Yagi antenna, which is like a beam antenna, and you just point it at your nearest pub or McDonald's. You just use theirs all day.
That
No, because
sounds a bit.
McDonald's has got capped Wi-Fi speed. So when you connect to McDonald's, you only get like a megabit per second up.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What
down.
you-
You get a megabit per second down, and you get half a megabit up. You know what I mean? And same with
Matt-
BT. You'd
Matt,
have to
what
find
you're
like an
talking-
independent pub, and you'd have to aim at the independent pub's Wi-Fi, where they've just got a own broadband plan, and they've just gone, "Oh, this is the Wi-Fi, and this is this awesome shit cafe that doesn't have a."
Matt, what you're saying about holding the aerial and a short lead, yeah? That reminds me of what the thieves are doing to nick Range Rovers, holding a big aerial up and scanning for the keys on their little hand phone or whatever handheld device. Shows big aerial, short lead, boom, in your car. It sounds like they're using sort of like that technology.
Yeah,
And-
the higher the frequency, the shorter your lead to the receiver has to be. You know, because
Yeah,
you
and
get a
it's
hell of a
mad
loss.
is that. It's mad is that because once the car's started, you can chuck the key out the window and you could keep driving for miles. And all you've
Yeah.
got to do is drive it to your garage or whatever, and then you just reprogram the car or just change the ECU out or whatever.
Why don't they?
Sounds like he's done this, folks.
Why don't they
Yeah.
just build in the actual software a GPS on the key as well? So the GPS has got to be with the car on the car's GPS.
Because
So
of
if you drive,
inaccuracies in GPS technology, like
Yeah.
for example, if you go in a tunnel,
wait,
and like,
if you
like in
drive,
London,
if you drive like so far away from the first starting point, yeah, say 2 miles, because obviously GPS is not pinpoint. When I say GPS, it's not as pinpoint as the military one, because it's not.
probably for health and safety as well. Because if you're driving on
Yeah.
a motorway and all of a sudden your car goes, "Fuck you, I'm turning it off no matter what," you know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, I think it would if you done with software and stuff right, and obviously Land Rover were one of the main firms that are having this problem. If they designed the key and the software to do that, to send signals to the key, and then realise the key's nowhere near the actual GPS of the vehicle, and the vehicle's moving, bring it to a safe stop.
Well, BMWs and stuff now, you have to you have all of the equipment in the car, and then you have to go on the store and the infotainment system and put your bank details in. And if you want heated seats, even though
Yeah.
the pads and everything's in your car, you have to pay for it. So surely those cars, the manufacturers could go, because you purchased one of our cars, and now the cars are always internet connected. We can provide you a live update of its location and blah 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 blah. And then obviously
can-
just set up a system.
They can shut those cars down as well,
Yeah.
but they're not allowed to in a lot of cases, because then person might be driving
Safety,
at the time.
yeah, safety. That's when we was fitting Clifford alarms back in the day. We used to fit Clifford alarms and called anti-hijack. What's it called? Blackjack. It was called on a Clifford, where if you got tracked out.
Anti-hijack, where you have like buttons on the steering wheel, and
No,
you have to put a secret code in when someone opens the door to stop it from.
it's similar to that, yeah. Basically, it's all evolved over the years. I'm talking about in the 90s now, when we used to fit the car alarms to the cars. And back then, if you got dragged out of your car, it realised, because it triggered a door pin. Yeah, a door pin. This is how common it is. Basically, an earth to the ground. Yeah, basically not digital or anything. It's just a common.
Earth
In
to
it, just
ground.
an age
yeah.
switch.
Earth to ground.
It's just like a
Analog,
switch.
analog. Should I say analog? Yeah.
That's 0 + 0 = 0. Yeah.
And when they pull you out of the car, you could drive down the road, yeah, but it only cut off if your revs went down a certain level, i.e., you're not on the motorway doing like whatever speed, 70 miles an hour at 3,000 revs. It won't let you do that. It won't cut it off. what it did, it monitored the
RPM.
revs basically of the car. So when the revs got us down to, I think it was 1,000 revs, just under 1,000 revs, then it cut the engine out. So, i.e., you was pulling up at a petrol station or a traffic lights or a turning to turn left down the street, it'll find that you're going slow enough and then just cut the engine. And that's how it worked back in the day. But with the newer stuff, like you say, with the digital stuff, you got switches where you can press this and press that and stuff like that to actually activate it and turn it off. But back in the day, you had a physical thing that you had to key, basically, or
I never
a
understand
virtual
why
key
they do
around
it
the
on the
key.
door anyway, because in the seat you've got a seat occupancy sensor. So surely what we could do is just utilize the data from the seat
We're talking about the
occupancy
90s now. We're talking about the 90s. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. When we used to fit the cars, but analog, yeah. But now it's all digital, yeah. Once it's digital, a computer nerd can link into that system and do what they do and
Well, everything's CAN bus nowadays. They're obsessed with CAN bus.
and bypass the Land Rover's security, where with an analog alarm still, put you on it, on this car, you'll be able to bypass the Land Rover security or whatever, but you won't be able to bypass the analog because you wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about or why you've got door pins. Well, it's because that's how it was in the time. You'd have to learn all this while you're robbing the car.
The biggest problem with everything being on high speed and medium speed CAN bus in modern cars is as soon as one module fails and starts spitting out garbage data, every other module goes, I can't communicate with that. I can't communicate with this. I can't communicate with that. ECU. I can't communicate with the ECU. I can't communicate with this. I can't communicate with the body control module. I can't communicate with the door module. I can't communicate with this. All these error lights come on and then you can't start the car. You can't use your windscreen wipers. You can't turn your lights on. You can't turn all of this shit on just because there's this one module going on the CAN bus lines.
Exactly. Exactly. When I was an auto electrician, like you say, if one system goes down, everyone says, "Oh, just plug a computer in and see what's going on." You plug a computer in, it says,
and it just tells you
no link between this device, that device, this device, this device. Like you say, a big long list of what's wrong. There's nothing talking to each other, so it gives a big long list. But it might be just one unit that's down. But then again, it might not even be a unit down. It could be a broken wire that's just down. Know what I mean? And that would cause the whole problem of then if you're not a good electrician, you'd be changing sensors and modules and this and that. But if you're a decent electrician, you know whether to check the point from A to B first and continuity between the 2 points, whether there's a break in the wire or not, before actually replacing the module.
An absolute nightmare. His battery could just be dying, and he'll turn his car on, and because the current and voltage dropped just as his starter motor kicked in to a certain level, all of a sudden the car goes, I couldn't communicate with these modules, so I'm just going to switch them off and not bother. And fuck you, you're not having headlights, and you're not having indicators, and you're not having windscreen wipers, and you're not having a stereo, and you're not having door locks, and you're not having windows that go up and down.
Yeah, there was a guy, he's an electrical engineer who fixes hard to do faults. Somebody had a Land Rover, a Range Rover. It just wouldn't turn on. It was just going click, click, click. Or at the beginning of the day, it would turn on once, and then if you turned it off, it wouldn't turn on again, and you have to leave it 12 hours. And he took it to Range Rover. He took it to about 12 different garages. Yeah, they all said we haven't got a clue, and they were all going, "Oh yeah, we've changed this, we've changed that." And this guy said, "Oh yeah, well, I've traced it back. It's a dodgy GPS unit in the boot, not even in the engine. It's the GPS. This unit was in the boot. It was a little thing." And he said, "Oh, change that." And it's a security thing. It's like it wants to report back to Land Rover. Whoa, fuck off. Spider. Fucking spider. You're having a laugh. He just dropped down in front of me then. Fucking spider.
I've had
Anyway.
that before today.
Yeah, I'll go and get a glass now and get him out here because that's right above me, actually. Fucking wanker. Right. Anyway, but yeah, he changed this thing in the boot. And the thing is, his stereo wouldn't come on, the amp wouldn't come on, and it wouldn't start, intermittently because of a fucking GPS unit that was basically just telling Land Rover where he was all the time in the boot, which you don't really need because maybe you don't want Land Rover knowing where you fucking are all the time. But it stopped all the fucking everything. Everything stopped because of that.
You not just get rid of his GPS unit and say, fuck you, I don't need one.
Well, like you say, the computer says no.
Yeah, it'd be good if you could just say, like, I don't want Range Rover's fucking system anymore. I'm going to use my own CAN bus and put a little Raspberry Pi on there and just go full performance, full everything, just everything turned on. It's like this, somebody should hack the BMW so you can get free seat, just produce a little operating system. You can flash your car, and when you turn it on, it goes, fuck you, BMW, on the screen. It goes like, fuck off, BMW. And it's like, now I've got all these functions they didn't want me to have and I had to pay for, and I've got them all. Fuck you. No, fuck you back.
I mean, you know what would be really funny is when it says fuck you, BMW, on the screen, you take your car into the BMW dealership for a service. So when the service technicians go and turn your car and it goes, fuck you, BMW, I've got heated seats, I've got this, I've got that, I've got that.
Yeah, you know for a fact that sue your ass off for that. You know what I mean?
I tell you, it'd be funny.
Even though it's your own car and you paid for all the stuff.
I tell you what would be funny.
No, because what they normally do is they get round it by providing a software license, and they say you own the hardware, but all our software is proprietary, and you only have a license to use it. But we may terminate that license at any time. What we decide, no matter the case, we don't have to have a reason. We just have to give you. You can terminate it no matter what. Fuck you.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's why you replace their software with your own software. Then you can tell them I own the hardware and it's my software because just I tell you what would be funny. You take it.
Yeah, but what they'll say, they'll step in and say, no, you're not allowed to use that car because it's not safe without our software, and you're not allowed to drive it under health and safety laws. Basically, they'd bring it up in court that way, probably.
And you'll say, "Oh, it's safe because it's had an MOT test and it's passed its MOT test. It's fit for the road and blah 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 blah." The thing where it becomes dodgy is in airbag software when you try and do the airbag modules and the safety modules because they've got to be approved. The software,
yeah, but
what's
saying
on that,
it's whether you've done all that and say that you've done all the your hard work and got your airbags working and everything, like you say, MOT and all that on it, yeah?
yeah.
What? Yeah? I forgot what I was going to say about it now.
We're talking about putting his own custom software on the car, so to get around their software licenses and say, fuck you, BMW.
But saying that, it'll still say we can't say this car is suitable for them things because it's not been tested by actual test authorities, because when the vehicles are made, they go through a procedure where they go through crash test and cold weather and hot weather and rain and stuff like that. And they'll say, look, under these conditions, we'll try and tell you, the courts, that it's condemned because it might not be as good as our standards.
They never check the firmware.
And it goes down.
I don't think they would. I think it'd only be if you were in an accident. If you're in an accident and something flagged up to your insurance, I think your insurance would investigate and then the insurance would say. But unless something flagged up, they wouldn't know, would
they? They what, like, fuck you, BMW, got my own heated seats. Yeah, that won't flag up, yeah?
I'm just meaning a serious accident. The police have taken the car for evidence. And get it back to the insurance company, and the insurance company goes and turns on the car, and it goes, "Fuck you, BMW! I've got this. I've got that."
I was thinking, like,
if it does so, they will sue your ass off you because it'll come down to who's got the bigger pocket, who can pay the most in court, whether you're right or they're wrong, who can push the test through the crash test through, you or them, basically.
No, the thing is, right, like they test for your carbon emissions and all that sort of stuff, right? Well, if you've changed the software and it's your software, they stick the thing up the tailpipe and they rev the engine, and if it passes, it passes. Now Volkswagen and Mercedes were faking the things because they knew when you were in there, they knew, oh, this is probably an MOT test, but by the way you'd been driving, and then they would like do down the emissions. So the thing is, if you had your own software, you could do that. Nobody's going to check it. You'll pass, right? But wouldn't it be funny? You know, like you they say, oh, we can't pass this because one of your lights is on your dashboard. Your service light is on your dashboard. I'd say it'd be brilliant if you turn the key on and start the car up, and all the lights come on, and it says FUCKOFF, and then no lights come on.
You can actually map. You can actually map fault codes out of your ECU so they don't trigger. So you can actually, if you've got a fault code, if you've got an engine light on your car, you can get some dodgy person on eBay. You download the map file off your car using a little tool, send it to someone on eBay, tell them what codes you want mapping out of the ECU, and then they'll send you a new file back. And that new file, you could have sensors unplugged and all sorts. And that new file, when you map it to your car, your engine management light just stays off, and you're in engine bay going, I'll unplug this, I'll unplug that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And your car's just like, no, everything's fine, sir. Everything's fine. The computer's just like, yeah, everything's okay. So the MOT test, checking for engine management light operations, rubbish anyway.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of dodgy things about airbag lights and how to spot fake airbag lights, know when they come on and on. And like, if your battery's going dead, how come your airbag light's coming on? It's because they cut the circuit board on the actual clocks, cut the circuit, and then rerouted it to your alternator light. So when you turn your ignition on, your ignition lights show alternator this and that, and airbag. And once you start, boom, obviously your alternator's charging. Your alternator light goes off, which is linked up to your airbag light. That goes off then. But then
you could probably create a really simple.
No, I mean, I've seen loads of
circuit. Actually, you could probably do a really simple circuit. You could probably create a really simple circuit where, when the voltage is like at a certain, like below 12.8 volts, and it's on ignition when on an ignition switched circuit, when the voltage is below a certain voltage, it displays the light. When the voltage goes up beyond 13 volts, because you've turned the alternator's running, it just goes.
Pretty much, yeah. I even seen them where they ripped out the LEDs and like, you know, for fact that's not right.
You can't do that anymore because they actually check it works. When the MOT tester looks at the specification of your car and checks that all those lights come on now. So unless they have to come on ignition stage 1 and then go off when you turn the engine on, when the engine's running.
Exactly.
And if they don't go off,
hence the changing the wiring diagram to another.
So you just reprogram them out.
Get the next. Just put 2 jumper wires from the next light over, but cut out the service light.
That's what I said.
It all turns on and then it all turns off, but it's fake.
Yeah. See, it's been going on for years. All that crap. People trying to get around it, but then when you do put a computer on, you find out it has had this fault and that fault, and look, it's actually got faults. And then you see,
that's why you program them out. That's why you send your engine, your ECU file to an eBay seller. They program it out. You put your computer on, and your computer's like, "No, everything's fine." And you'll be in engine bay unplugging shit, and your computer, your diagnostics will still go, "No, everything's fine."
Yeah, you're talking about newer cars again, where I'm talking about the older generation, where you have to manually do it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
And I learned about this because I had an old car with like an EGR valve, and I took the EGR valve out and blanked it, and I started to get a fault code for the EGR. So I just went to this person on eBay and said, "Look, here's my file. Can you just take this fault code out?" And then just went, "Yeah, give me it back." And now my car's just things running fine.
Yeah. Like I say, you know me, I can't do computers. When it comes to computers, I'm lucky I've got this live stream out with no glitches this week. know what I mean? But if I was as up to date as I am with my cars as I was then on computers, know what I mean? Because I couldn't type or spell or nothing with computers, and that's why I've not really gone into computers. But it's all gone computerized. If I knew how to operate a computer now, just to think how much money
The
could make
problem you've got is
over the years. What I've
when
could
you
have
extract
done.
these software files from these modules on your car, you just get a bin file. And when you look at the bin file on your computer, you just get hexadecimal data. So you need someone who knows what all these lines of
I don't
hexadecimal
even know what
data
you're talking
represent.
about. I don't even know what you're
And then
talking
you've got,
about.
and then you've got to know exactly what block and exactly what line in that block of the hexadecimal data you've got to change to turn these features on and off, or to turn these fault codes on and off and shit like that. So it's like, to know every single manufacturer's, to understand every single different manufacturer's bin file and hexadecimal data that you presented with, it'd just be impossible. There's some people do create files. Some people do create like software that can decode the hexadecimal data for different manufacturers, but then there's different variations of it depending on the year and models of the car. So it's easier to just pay an eBay seller a tenner and go, here's my bin file, sort it out for me, and they give you a new bin file back, and then you just put it on.
Yeah. Exactly. You're talking about newer cars again, where I'm talking about slightly old ones. And Liam down here, this comment, you can delete codes anyway. But what me and Matt were saying, by diverting the LED to a different LED, like the alternator LED or something like that, when you crank your car, it goes out.
You just won't get the error.
You won't get the error. But when the mechanic plugs the machine in, who has got the actual computer to tell you what the error is, you'll see the error.
But they don't do that on an MOT, though, do they?
No, not the MOT. But this is how I've learned. This is how I've learned about fault codes and faults, and like you say, broken wires and rerouting circuits and LEDs ripped out. It's all because of what I've done in the past and working it all out. But now it's gone into like computers, like you're saying. As soon as you started talking about these files and that files, I'm like, that's above my head now. I don't know where you're talking about.
Yeah, because what actually happens when you get
I have used a diagnostic machine. I can go through a diagnostic machine and stuff. And
a diagnostic machine will work for like basic tricks like cutting the LEDs or wiring up to just ignition but not ignition 2. But when you start doing things with the computer, what actually happens when there's a fault code on a car?
I don't know, and that's why
fault code gets stored in the EEPROM. There's a block in the EEPROM, and what actually happens is the ECU stores that fault code in a block of the EEPROM, and then your instrument cluster module through CAN bus is actually saying to the ECU, is there any faults? Have you detected any faults? Is there any faults? Is there any faults? And it's doing that constantly. And then what actually happens is if the ECU responds, yes, on this block of my EEPROM, I've stored this fault code, then the instrument cluster module has a bit of programming in it that says, okay, illuminate this LED, and then the LED turns on. And all you're doing, all these programmers are doing, is saying to the ECU, don't monitor the data from this sensor and trigger this code. You're just deleting the code from the firmware. So all you're saying is this fault doesn't exist. There's no such fault as, for example, P0490. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We don't even know what P0490 is. We don't even know how to monitor for P0490. When your instrument cluster module says to your ECU, is there any fault stored in the EEPROM? Your ECU goes, no, he ain't. But clearly that fault would have existed if it were on its original firmware file. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people who do that are putting people's lives at risk. Like airbags, right? Delete that. Let's sell the car instead. Know what I mean?
Well, it
depends on who you are, whether you've got morals, and whether you're there to buy a car, sell the car, or whether you're there to fix the car. I'm an auto electrician. I'm there to fix the car. I'm not a seller. I'm there to learn to fix cars. So when something dodgy comes in, what do you tell them? You tell them it needs fixing. And
Well, it depends on what you're
and
doing. For example,
a lot of people who's bought a car don't know don't know about the problem and realise it needs fixing, and then they will go further and get the problem solved by obviously the person who's found the problem.
yeah.
Know what I
Well, it
mean?
depends on why you're deleting the codes, because for a code like in
EGR
delete,
valve, yeah, I know what you mean. That's
you don't want the sort building up in your intake, isn't it? So you're doing that to preserve the life. But if you're deleting airbags, and that's just stupid. You're just being dishonest and just doing it because there's a fault on the car and you can't be asked to fix it, and you'd rather pay a tenner to get someone to just map out the fucking fault code.
Exactly. Or traction control or whatever you want to do. Know what I mean? These days, with computers, you can do a hell of a lot and reprogram this and reprogram that. But yeah, if I knew what to do with like computer, I'd be shit hot as a auto electrician still. It's because I came out of the game because I couldn't do the computer side.
There's a thing called a man-in-the-middle attack as well. You can actually get devices which go between the memory and the brain, as it were, and will falsify the miles you've done. So you plug it in, and it's like it goes in between, and then like the computer says, "Well, what's my miles?" And it goes, "Yeah, nothing. You haven't done no miles, or you've done a small amount of miles." And it's like, "No, you've done nothing, mate." And it's like, if you take that device out, it'd be like, "Yeah, he's done 500,000 miles." It's a shit box.
On Fords, the mileage is actually stored in the instrument cluster module. So even though you've got a digital instrument cluster, when you get an instrument cluster from a car from the scrapyard and you put it in your car, the mileage will show the mileage from the car from the scrapyard. But you can plug your car into your computer, download Forscan, and you can do something called the mileage correction. And when you open mileage correction, you can just put 20 miles in, and your instrument cluster will just go, "Yeah, he's only done 20 miles. He's only done 20 miles."
Yeah.
Since this car's been bought, we've only done 20 miles.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with it is it won't add up on the MOT history. So if you owned the car from new and you wanted to sell it and do a scam, what you do is you do 10,000 miles and you go, "Oh, I've only done 2,000 miles this year. Oh, I'm selling it in 5 years." So if I keep telling it I've only done 2,000 miles every MOT test.
Exactly. That's why I've started doing it on computer now, the MOTs, mileage. Not just that. Pay as you go by mile. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
If don't get a GPS in your car, if you're not got a GPS car, they'll start using the mileage off on the MOTs because it's all registered on the MOT, your last mileage. And people who are not up to sync with it, you know what I mean, will think, "Oh, already, it's just a routine MOT, yeah, And when they think about it, I better disconnect my speedo before the next MOT. You know what I mean? Some people it might just go past them, and then obviously get mileage, and other people might be on the ball, disconnect it, dishonest people, disconnect it, run the loads of miles up, plug it back in. "Oh, you've only done 200 miles this year on the MOT. Right, undo all that again.
People used to do it.
Drive round, but when it goes through the MOT, that's when it gets registered, the amounts of the thing. That's why they're doing it now on the MOT for the older cars, because not everyone's on or dishonest to do that, is what I'm talking about, if you know what I mean. So
people used to do it on People do it especially on financed cars. So let's say you've got a financed vehicle and it says you can only do 8,000 miles a year. What people will do is they'll go, I'm on this contract with this company. Every 3 years I'll get a new car by paying them this much money a year, but I'm only allowed to do this many miles. So what I'll do is just before the MOT test, I've gone over that mileage. Let me just plug laptop in. yeah, actually, I only did 5,000 miles this year, and I've got an 8,000 miles allowance, but I actually did 100 in mileage. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gone through its MOT test. Oh, okay. I've done this many miles. Oh, so my last MOT test said I did this. I've done this many miles. I've gone over by. I've gone over by 1,000 miles. Let's just fold it back. I've only done 7,000 miles this year. You know what I mean?
Guess who the most dishonest people in the UK are with screwing their mileage and screwing up the mileage on the cars?
Yeah.
Police forces. Yeah, because they do their own MOTs, and one of the conditions of the MOT is they don't log the mileage.
And they don't disclose the MOTs, do they?
Yeah.
The MOTs are never disclosed.
Or tax.
People
Don't need
buy
tax.
People who go to an auction house and buy an ex-police car, and it's done 150,000 miles. They take it home, they reprogram it to 20,000 miles, and there's no record in the MOT system, because that'll be the very first time within it first MOT, not a police MOT, first real MOT. That's the first mileage that shows up. So you think, oh, this car's great. Look, it's only done a few miles. Yeah. Police cars are the worst.
Don't know about that. Some of them vary depending which vehicle it is, because they used to make police cars. Some of them are like chief officers,
Chief constable,
or a fire officer or something like that. Yeah, where you're upper class in the upper role with an office and you get a company car.
Yeah.
If you put lights on it, yeah, modify it slightly, put blue lights on and say it's for work purposes, that's why the lights are on it, yeah, you get a discount on the actual buying the car and stuff like that, but you don't have to pay tax on it on a year. You don't have to pay tax, and you're exempt from MOTs, like you say. And we've had a place in where we had the car in and done it. The car goes out, and I said, "Why has that done that?" Oh, it's the chief officers. We only put lights on, so I don't have to pay for the tax and the MOT every year. It's like, oh, it says that's just a perk of the job, isn't it? You get a decent car. You never use the lights. But if you do need them, they're there for purposes, you know what I mean? But it's just how they work. One rule for one rule for the other. Even though it might be their private car, they'll say, oh, we need it to get it. Yeah. Mad.
If you get your engine management light come on, though, now, it never used to be. They've only recently changed it. On an MOT, they'll now fail it, even if it's just like a wire which has got, it's just a dirty sensor. If it comes on, they'll fail it.
Yeah.
Which is a bit fucking wanky, really.
But I don't think the police have to actually log their miles, though, because they do their own MOT checks. So there is no logging of the miles.
Probably not.
I know they send the actual speedo off to get recalibrated. Yeah.
B-Face says it's backstage now.
Oh, yeah. And that's how, if it's traffic officer, it's behind you, they can say the speedo's calibrated. And if it's over the speedo limit, they can have you. It holds up in court, that.
Yeah,
hello,
there's
welcome back.
Yeah, I changed the date and time on my computer, and it must have refreshed the web page.
Not allowed, not allowed, not allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a setting in the in Forscan for my car, and it's called the speedo correction. And in that setting, you can calibrate your speedometer, and you set a value. You do like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3%, or you can minus it off. So if your speedo's out, I've set my speedo to be out by like 5 miles an hour, because obviously when I'm doing, sometimes I push it up to like 85, and I like to know that I'm doing like 80 mile an hour at 85, because mentally when I see 85 on the speedo, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This message here, a question to me actually about MOTs over the cars that are over 40 years old. I knew it was over a certain year you didn't need MOTs. I didn't know it was 40 years old.
They're
That means
classics.
Yeah, that means my Vauxhall Nova needs to be off the road for another 6 years before it actually qualifies. Know what I mean? But with the MOTs and stuff
No
like
tax.
that, yeah, no tax, no MOTs. But back to the question: after 40 years of having a classic car, which is like you say, a classic after 40 years, I'm sure you go to look after it and maintain it. So therefore, it would pass the MOT if you keep up your commitment of keeping an old car like that, because obviously you want to drive around in it safely. So that's my opinion. Yeah, get rid of them after 40 years. They've done the service of the MOTs. The owner who's took the responsibility after all this time is going to dedicate time and effort to look after it. That's my opinion of that.
That's good then, Bolt. Just keep your car for 40 years until it's 40 years old, and you don't have to worry about MOTs anymore. You can drive it round with the axles falling off and whatever, and it'll go, oh, I didn't need an MOT.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that they drill them so that you have to take the engine out because it's basically unusable, and when they sell the car.
Yeah, that's the BMW ones because they used to set on fire, or still do, the BMW diesels. I think it's the 325 or no, the 330D.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. You have to recalibrate the speedo if you put bigger or smaller wheels on it. Yeah, because the rolling factor, the circumference is different.
Yeah, when I bought the bigger wheels on mine. I changed the alloys from Luke's old Ford. I put the alloys onto mine, and I had to go into Forscan and actually tell it, because there's an option where you tell it what rims you've got on it. So I had to tell it what rims I had on it in Forscan, and then click flash, and then it just flashed to the car and said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But it only goes out by like 1.4 miles or like 2 or 3 miles an hour if you don't reflash it. So it's not really not that dramatic, is it? Really?
A Dimmer 205. Wow.
He's got a 1966 Morris. Well, my commiserations to. I hope.
A Daimler. Yeah.
Daimler's not bad.
Yeah.
Nice Daimlers.
I thought it said Dimmer 205. 205, but that's my dyslexic playing in there.
Yeah.
Dimmer, yeah, Daimler, yeah. I think I'll be calling it a night soon because
we're not going all night.
No,
another 10 minutes till I passed, and we'll leave it. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Well,
we sneaked in another half hour, aren't you? So you got us another half hour of us. So
really, honestly, well,
tell you what, Matt, don't worry about it because there's always next week,
mate. I'm only kidding. I can't wait to get off here. Fuck you.
What a terrible, awful man. There, I said it even before getting rid of him. I'm only joking.
There's loads of tricks still out there, folks. There's loads of tricks if you know what they are. You can get past them. They don't like it because some of them are legal tricks. They're legal tricks, and even if they know you're doing it, and they say, "We know you're doing this," and you go, "Yeah, I know you know I'm doing it," and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
Wish you could weld me. Wish you could weld.
That is an art though, welding, isn't it? Come on, fucking hell.
It is.
I've tried it. I'm not good at it.
I went up to I got a welder and all that when I was young and back into my early 20s, I'd
So you
say.
just need to know a farmer. Farmers tend to be welders.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when I
every
tested,
farmer.
when I got my hands on this welder when I was about 20 or something, I got a carb on it and I grinded the metal away, the paint away, so it's nice clean. Got a nice clean piece of panel that I just cut off. Cleaned all the paint off that because I know it needs a good cleaning surface for contact for welding. Put it against my bonnet. Made sure there's magnets on it. Put my welder to it. Boom! And hole right through the bloody bodywork through the bonnet. But lucky enough, that was a practice bonnet, just to see what I could weld. And just seeing that, I went, oh, try it again. Nope, just melts through. I thought, that's not for me, that. Don't know what I'm doing. Just
Too
left
many
it.
so
angles,
hard.
probably. Too many
I know
angles.
a farmer.
Yeah.
I know a farmer in my in my parents' area who were towing something on his truck and it were overloaded. He were towing something that were overweight, and he went over a speed bump and it just ripped his rear axle off his truck. And he was like, he's driving down the road and his rear axle's ripped off, and you're like, fucking hell, this car it's accelerating like mad now. Looked in his rear mirror and he was like, oh shit, my trailer's gone.
Yeah.
So he drove his truck back home, back to his farm, got a tractor, towed the thing back with his tractor back to his farm. And what do you call it? When he got back, he re-welded his rear axle back on his truck and put it through an MOT, and it's all right. But how does it rip off? How did it even rip off in the first place? Going over a speed bump? I don't get that.
Could have
Don't
been
know.
a bit rusted out.
The mounts, yeah, like you say, rusted. Yeah. Like you say, I don't know nothing about that. I'm great with car electrics and stuff like that. House electrics, whoa, nah. When I was a kid, I learnt about them. When I was a kid, I learnt my lesson. I seen a plug socket hanging out of the wall with a lead on it, but with two wires coming off where someone's actually just cut and then rewired it. So me thinking, oh, after wiring up my Millennium Falcon figure, no little figures, actual spaceship with lights, LEDs. I thought it'd be a great idea to put this LED bulb. Well, it's a bulb actually, it wasn't an LED. It was a bulb. This bulb to this 240 volt.
It
Went
exploded.
next thing, boom! And I was across the kitchen, and yeah, stick to your 12 volts. No, I mean,
I've been electrocuted quite a few times.
House electrics, no. Welding, no. If I can't swim, I won't jump in the swimming pool.
I've been electrocuted quite a lot of times. The first time I got electrocuted was when I was a kid and I took apart a PC power supply. And what do you call it? I left it plugged in. And I was just taking it apart and thinking, I'm just going to have a look. And I forgot that I left it plugged in. And do you know where the kettle plug plugs into the back of the power supply?
Oh, yeah.
I touched one of the pins where it's soldered onto a wire to the board. I touched one of those pins, and all of a sudden, I felt like this intense nipping sensation through all my body. And my arm just went, I didn't have any control of it. My arm just went really fast like that. And then I looked and I'm like, fucking hell, it was plugged in. The second time I got electrocuted, I was in the attic messing with the lighting ring in my parents' house. And I couldn't be asked to turn the fuse board off because I thought, oh, I should be able to touch the sleeving on the wires and push it into the terminals and then screw it in with this insulated screwdriver. But my hand slipped and I touched the terminal block on the actual junction box and my hand just slipped and it just went like that. So I've been electrocuted and I've had blisters. Sometimes I get blisters when I've been electrocuted, you know, like little blisters on my hand where I've been electrocuted. But it's not.
Yeah, but
it's not that bad because your hand always flies back. You know
Not
what I mean?
always. Depends on the ampage or voltage on it. You can actually stick to it.
Yeah.
DC
That's
electric shocks are worse than AC, aren't they?
Well, DC is
Oh,
because it's
yeah,
one
DC, but
voltage.
AC,
So your
DC,
muscle,
Direct current.
your muscle
Your muscles
contracts. Your muscle contracts, but it stays contracted, so you don't let go. AC, it'll go like this. So you tend to let go because it's shaking plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus. But DC, it'll just go like that, but you'll end up holding on. Yeah. Oi, my dog is like pawing the bed, like wanting some.
And the F drives, getting electric shock from a VF drive's the worst because above a certain frequency, you don't even feel you're being electrocuted. So you'll touch it and you won't feel it, but it'll still go through your heart and cause you to have an heart attack.
What's that? Do you say?
The F drives,
variable frequency.
if the frequency is high enough, you won't feel that you're getting an electric shock anymore.
And where's
But
them
it'll still go through your heart, and your heart can still stop, and you're still being cooked.
Is that on computers or something? The F drives, or
Lift.
or you talking about cars? What are you talking about?
Trains, lifts,
Oh,
anything
trains, lifts.
motorized and industrial uses VF drives normally.
Well, don't forget, I might not know, and a lot of people in the audience might know what you're talking about. So, yeah, that's why I like to ask questions about bits and bobs. So if you don't understand, that's why I ask questions. And if you don't ask, you don't get to know.
You get nasty.
You should mess with a VF drive. You can make the motor make different noises if you mess with a VF drive. You can buy them really cheap on AliExpress VF drives, and you can have a play about with them.
Yeah.
Is it like a voltage? Make it faster and slower.
No, it's a frequency.
Control. Frequency.
It's mainly you changing the frequency. You're not changing the voltage. You're just changing. So you know, like AC is normally like 50 hertz. Normally you're changing the hertz of the sine wave. So the faster the hertz is, the closer together the sine wave becomes.
Right, I know what
it
you're
also
talking
changes
about
the
now.
amplitude of the sine wave, doesn't it?
Ow! What are you doing to me? Clawing me. Yeah. Well, what was it like? If you get a DJI drone, you turn it on, and it goes nee nee nee. It makes
that's
noise.
That's the VF.
That's the VF drive. It's actually making those frequency noises through the motors. The motors are actually going by the different frequencies that are being put through them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it goes do do do. When you turn it on, it's the motors are making the noise. It's not got a speaker inside the DJI drone. It's the motors, and that's why when it turns it on, when it makes that noise, you see the blades go click. They flick. They go. It goes do 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 because it's going flick 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 at different frequencies.
And if you notice as well, the DJI drones produce a high frequency noise, so you don't actually hear the motors rotating. What you actually hear is the wind noise, don't you? And then you hear that high frequency noise of it, really high, and it's a really high frequency noise. That's because it's a VF, isn't it?
Right, so you basically tune the electric motors to get rid of noise, but yet you need to tune it just right so you get a flight as well. If you're talking about drones,
you can tune the sound of the electric motor. You can't get rid of the noise entirely because eventually, when you go to a frequency that's too high, the motor doesn't operate as efficiently anymore. But with certain frequencies,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Depending on the motor configuration,
between the
that the motor operates more efficiently at, and all the DJI does is it just pulses at different frequencies to make that signature noise that goes do 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 do. You know what I mean?
Well, they're technically multi-phase motors as well, so they've got more than one pole position. So what it's doing, it pulls it a little bit, then it changes phase, then it pulls it a bit more, then it changes phase, and it pulls a bit more. So, like between those points, when it gets up in frequency, it's so close to the movement speed, they can change the frequency so that it works more efficiently. It's like sort of like a gearing, because like if it's doing the slow phase, if it's doing the slow phase, then it's gonna almost overturn the motor, but it needs to have the signals quicker because it's actually turning so quickly. It needs to now alternate the frequencies between the motor stators. It's not like permanently on. It's not going like, this stator, this stator, this stator, this stator. It's going between three. It's going ABC, ABC, ABC. But once it wants to accelerate, it has to go ABC, 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 ABC. So it has to increase the frequency as well of the, between the stators.
Big industrial VF drives can blow up really dramatically when the motor windings become shorted. They're like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not stators because they're contactless, isn't it? It's what do they call it when it's contactless?
Brushless.
Brushless, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Right, on that one, let's go to call it a night.
Okay. It's only 11:30.
I feel so used.
I
I hope you feel used and abused by me.
Oh, I feel such a whore.
Yeah.
You'd think it were like 6 o'clock in the morning. I could understand if it were 3, but 6 o'clock in the morning then.
Yeah, I know, but the big question, anyone going live before anyone asks a question?
Yeah, but you'll be on here for another half an hour chatting to us, so why don't you just stay on?
No, I'm shooting off. I'm definitely shooting off straight away.
He does, folks. You stay on for half an hour now, and I go, we've just had some really interesting conversations here, and everyone would have loved to have been part of this.
Yeah.
And we keep going into really technical discussions as well, really deep technical discussions, and then the ironic thing is, normally when live streams end is normally when everyone's going, and everyone's just sat here going, and there's normally just one person trying to keep the conversation alive, and everyone's going, yeah, that's interesting, yeah.
No.
But the ironic thing now is that the live stream's actually ending when everyone's going, oh yeah. And this and that, and getting really engaged in deep.
You ended at the best moment when everybody is having the most fun, and everyone's like, oh, and you go, I've got to end it now.
Just like sex, know what I mean? Just like sex.
No, it's an enjoyometer. He's got like this gauge in front of him, and it's like a VU meter. But when you've enjoyed yourself too much, it goes in the red. And it means now you must end. And then eventually the needle starts bouncing, and he's got fireworks in his room. And if he doesn't end the live stream, all these rockets go off and set his house on fire. So he's got no choice really.
Can you send his firmware off, and can we map out his ELS meter, the end the live stream meter? Yeah. So that he doesn't register it anymore. He just keeps on going. Can you get it mapped out?
And then what we could do
everyone.
Is we could put a brain chip in his brain so he never gets tired. You know what I mean? Do you know, like an Elon Musk brain chip? So he's just constantly here like.
He's cyberborg wheel, wasn't it?
We just strap
like Cyberpunk, like that game Cyberpunk, where everyone's like got parts in them, and like cybernautics, like technology merged with their brains.
Right, come on, let's see if we get a hint out here.
Mr. Reese, welcome. What have you been doing this week? What have you been doing this week then, Will?
Right, good night. I'm going in 10 seconds now.
Well, we've only just started. What you're on about? The countdown's just begun. We've just started. You just rolled your intro.
Countdown to the end.
Yeah, so have you been?
Everyone.
Have you been up to any urbexes recently?